Greetings, everyone. This is Phil Amerson for the Belonging Exchange with another brief because podcast. I've been thinking a lot about the stranger. I've been thinking about the way strangers are welcomed. Someone told me recently that there was a distinction across the Midwest that people came to understand. If you moved your family into a place and they said, "Hello, neighbor," then that might be a good place to settle. Or if they said, "Hi there, stranger," maybe that's not where you should settle. You know, a lot of people in Indiana moved up Virginia, Kentucky, and Indiana. And, some of them went on west. Like one guy in particular did all right, even though he was born in a house with dirt floor. I think his name was Lincoln, A. Lincoln. He knew the difference between who's your neighbor and who's the stranger. The scriptures were pretty clear about it. In Exodus 22, we have these, what are guidelines for welcoming others, for being inside what God has in mind for the world. They're known in some circles as the laws of restitution, but there are many, and when you read there, some of them are a little, I don't know that I want to think about that very much, animals and food and but there's one that stands out, especially in this time when we have over 60,000 people in detention centers. And depending on which research you see, 3%, 5%, maybe 8%, but no higher, are people who are actually criminals, who have been charged with criminality, with felonies. It brings to mind Exodus 22. You shall not wrong or oppress a resident alien, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. You shall not abuse any widow or orphan. If you do abuse them, they will cry out to me. I will surely hear their cry. My wrath will burn, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall become widows and your children orphans. Oh my. Well, the writer of the scripture is speaking of what the people who God has given freedom, to whom God has given freedom, how they should behave toward your neighbor. It goes on, if you take your neighbor's cloak as a guarantee, you shall restore it before the sun goes down, for it may be your neighbor's only clothing to use as a cover. It is clear that there is a law of restitution, of abundance, by which we are called to live. We know it best through stories, not through rules. Clearly, rules can be easily ignored or set aside, but stories carry a power that endures. Societies that live only by rules become rigid and corrupt. But when you use poetry and story, it endures. It sweetens the whole. It makes us all aware that we are God's people. All of us could be the resident alien, could be the one who comes to a new place. And we know the difference between "Hi there, stranger" and "Welcome, neighbor." May God bless you in this day and in the future. Bye-bye.